The morning sun hit Oakrest Meadows perfectly. The streets looked like a dream. Perfect lawns, white fences, identical houses, and a silence that only broke when someone decided to enforce another rule. I was standing outside my house, tightening the final screw on my brand-new slate-gray mailbox. It was a simple thing, but I was proud of it because I had installed it myself. Then I saw them walking toward me. Mara Green, the HOA president, came first with her clipboard in hand. Behind her was Doug Reeves, her favorite rule enforcer, carrying his tape measure like he was searching for a crime scene. "Mr. Carter," Mara said, looking at my mailbox, "your mailbox color is non-compliant. It violates Oakrest Meadows standards." I looked at the mailbox and smiled. "That's interesting, because I'm not part of your HOA." For a moment, Mara looked confused. Doug laughed. "Every house in this neighborhood is under our HOA." "Not mine," I replied. "You should check your map." Mara's confidence immediately disappeared. "You can't just decide you're not part of the association. We'll contact authorities." "Go ahead," I said. Minutes later, a police car arrived, but I wasn't worried, because I knew something they didn't. I didn't just own my house. I owned the land they were standing on. When I first bought my property through a county auction, I thought I had found a great deal. I never imagined I was moving into a neighborhood controlled by Mara, a woman who believed every resident needed her permission to make decisions. Her favorite words were always, "Community standards are non-negotiable." During my first week, I received warnings about my trash bins, my porch light, and almost everything else. At first, I ignored it, but then came the mailbox violation. A white envelope arrived. Violation 0001, unauthorized mailbox design. They ordered me to repaint or replace my mailbox within 7 days or pay daily fines. That was when I decided to investigate. I opened the HOA documents and checked the official maps. Every property was marked inside Oakrest Meadows except mine. My lot had a separate boundary line. I contacted the county office, and a clerk confirmed the truth. My property was 27 feet outside the HOA boundary. They had no authority over me. I thought that would end the problem. It didn't. That night, Mara sent another email claiming the HOA had the right to annex adjoining properties under a special clause. I almost laughed. It wasn't a law. It was just a sentence they had written on HOA paperwork. This was never about a mailbox. It was about control. So I collected every notice, every email, and every document. Then I found an anonymous note in my mailbox. "They did this to Wagner's too. Don't back down." That was when I realized I wasn't the first person Mara had tried to control. I searched deeper into county records and discovered something important. The HOA had tried to expand its boundaries years earlier, but the paperwork was never approved. For years, Oakrest Meadows had been enforcing rules outside its legal power. I took the official documents to the next HOA meeting. Mara had organized a public hearing like I was on trial. Neighbors gathered. Doug prepared his evidence. Even a police officer stood nearby. "Mr. Carter," Mara announced, "this hearing is about your refusal to comply." I opened my folder. "You can't refuse something you were never required to follow." The crowd became silent. I asked one simple question. "Under which recorded covenant are you enforcing these rules?" Mara hesitated. I showed the county documents. "Oakrest Meadows has no legal authority over my property. Your boundary ends 27 feet before my mailbox." Doug tried to argue. "We have enforced these rules for years." I looked at him. "That doesn't make them legal." The officer examined my documents carefully. Then he turned to Mara. "He's right. This property is outside your HOA jurisdiction." The entire room changed. For the first time, people saw the truth. Mara tried claiming they could still annex my property. The officer shook his head. "That's not how property law works." The hearing ended with Mara losing control. But I knew she wouldn't stop there. So I searched even deeper. That's when I discovered 3 important parcels in the neighborhood: the walking path, the utility land, and the park area. Everyone believed they belonged to the HOA. They didn't. The developer had gone bankrupt years earlier, and those properties were never legally transferred. The HOA had been controlling land it never owned. The parcels went to auction, and I bought them. At the next HOA meeting, I walked in with my lawyer and the official deeds. Mara looked at the papers. Her face turned pale. The park, the walking path, the community areas? I nodded. All legally mine. The room went silent. My lawyer explained that the HOA never held ownership rights over those properties. The sheriff confirmed that continuing to use the land without permission could become trespassing. The same neighbors who once supported Mara finally understood what happened. I could have taken everything away, but I didn't. I offered the community a deal. They could continue using the park and community spaces, but the HOA had to stop pretending it controlled property it didn't own. Within weeks, everything changed. Mara resigned. Doug disappeared. The HOA collapsed. The neighborhood finally became a real community. No more fake authority. No more random fines. No more fear. The old community hall became a place for neighbors to gather. The park reopened. The walking trail became a place where families spent time together. Under the old oak tree, I placed a small sign. Respect is stronger than rules. Months later, Oakrest Meadows was different. The lawns were still beautiful, but people were finally free to make their homes their own. Different mailboxes appeared, different decorations, different personalities, and nobody was afraid anymore. One day, I found a thank you card in my mailbox. It said, "You reminded us that we're neighbors, not suspects." That was when I realized something. I never wanted revenge. I only wanted peace. Sometimes protecting your peace means standing up when someone tries to take away your rights. Sometimes one person refusing to stay silent is enough to remind everyone else that they have a voice. Because control can hide behind rules, but truth always finds a way to win.